Hello there, friends. How are you doing? This is your PHInkTrade host speaking. Hope you're all well. So, I'm going to provide here a quick overview of state of Bitcoin, starting with the monthly chart, as you see here, and then go down to lower time frames as well, so we have a better understanding of what's happening at the moment. So, first things first, we just have a new month, and so far it's going good. Positive month. Not very frequent situation for March. As you can see, this is in Bitcoin history, at least in Bitstamp. Um, we just had 2 months, two March months uh, green. Hopefully, this will be another one. Select group of green March months. Anyways, what we should try to understand here is that. We see this type of action because Bitcoin hit some important targets or some important levels here, which definitely call for some take profit to happen. First, as we see here, we see that potentially this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Elliott wave movement, large scale Elliott wave movement on log scale, and to get to the next Fibonacci, um, which sits around 95 or 100K sort of, we are more or less in the middle of this. Actually, last month, actually February closed really sitting at the very middle of this way. So makes sense at the middle. There's some take profiting or reconsideration of whether we go higher or we don't. So far, it seems that the market is trying to continue the up move. It also on a more local wave projection situation, we can see that this is also a place where take profit would potentially happen. If we consider this to be 1, 2, 3, around 4.72 is a natural take profit place. So, okay, around 50K, that's natural. And if we think again that we are going towards something around 100K, okay, we halfway there, we get some reconsideration, or let's take some profit here. Potentially we can see some pullback, a larger pullback, to then recover and continue. So there is a scenario on the table, really, that this month of March can be a correction month, and eventually then we resume the uptrend later on. But so far this is not happening. So let's continue working with the this upward scenario. So the weekly chart also shows us something in relation to this take profit situation, because when we get this wave here and we cast 1.618 projection to the upside, which in this case is done with the retracement tool and not the extension tool, but still works fine. We see that the price hit very important level at 57.8K. Price went up to 58.2 or 3 or so, and then we got a take profit happening here. But if we at least so far, considering the uptrend in general using price finder indicator, you see that price is definitely still very healthy with the uptrend. The upper expansion is still working as support. So far so good. No big deal happening. We are very far from all things that could potentially tell Bitcoin that it's bearish or in any sense. Okay, so quite important as well. So, but this is very important now because this gives us a perspective using the weekly chart on whether or not we are close or far from the top. And again, lots of people talking about 100k, and I think there's a reason for that, other than just wishful thinking. And basically, once we compare the structure of this up leg with the structure of this up leg, of course, this is the logarithm scale, and if you put it in perspective, they are very different. But still, let's work it this way. Um, I think that when we compare these two things, we can clearly see that Bitcoin is probably, so when we compare this place with this place with this place with this place, all right, uh, basically by casting this Fibonacci in a way that the bottom sits where the bottom was comparatively, the middle sits where the middle was comparatively, then we start to see that potentially this place is this place, which is the entry of what I call the bear's house for for my battlefield cast. Okay, and with that, uh, if Bitcoin is willing to give us the same performance as before, we got some rejection when we started to interact with this level. Uh, we retraced, but then quickly recovered and uh, broke it, and actually broke even the next Fibonacci around 76, and then go straight up to the target of 100k, sort of, to then only from there come make a significant correction. First, potentially bring us back to 40k, and then after some pullbacks, returning us the 74, 75, or potentially even more. But if we are going to repeat the same pattern, then Bitcoin will, once we started retracing from 100k, which seems to be the case, we can come back to around 30 or something. Okay, so just considering what happened here. So this is the expectation in terms of how price should behave from in a larger scale. Um, Now, quickly, let me see how much time I have. Just a little bit more than 10 minutes. Okay, good. This is the case this is a daily chart. What we can see here basically is um, last time we had a pullback, we you can see that we got a pullback into the 0.382 fib level from this leg, and this was enough to hold the price, which confirms a bullish situation for the price to continue going higher. And so far, we saw something similar to that. Price came a little lower into this, actually in the very middle of these two levels, which are zero point 0.3 and 0.5 retracement, and from here it found support. So this is a potentially interesting thing. Now back with the indicators, we can see that this all happened once we had the daily chart working with in a consolidation sort of scenario, like when price enters the trend band, how the way I call it, um, with the orange bars, it's in a consolidation state. This happened, and our price is trying to resume the trend state, which, if confirmed, especially if we go high and then we come back, and this around this level here, we find support around 50, 48, 49, 50. If we find support here, then the case for us to continue going higher is going to be present. All right. Basically, we also got support from the 90 minutes. I'll call it a little later, which is a similar internal support here that helped support price over here. And in this case, it also helped. Um, it also helped in this case over here uh, to pretty sharply to hold price. So this is good. All right. So also when we look at OBV in case of the daily is not looking so healthy still. It's still in a consolidation state and might continue to go lower if we need to get back above, like it happened here. Okay, so with this exactly the same structure I was talking about. We need to get the daily OBV back into trend state, which is basically riding this open space here, white space. If price comes back down, I think that this area here will be a buy zone. Probably not the 0.5, but around here 0.6. It's going to be fine. And also the same one 105 time frame might just as well hold price around here, a little lower. Let's see. Um, then here 12-hour, we we can clearly see that price was performing an edge sort of situation, wedge sort of situation, and managed to break it. That's good. So this also interesting to notice that price respected the middle of the 12-hour trend band, which is also fine, and also confluent with what we saw, considering the other structures that we just mentioned. So this was another confirmation for this place to be a buy zone. And now bulls are trying to get price back into the middle ground over here, which most likely will suffer initially, and we probably will see again price coming back to this region over here, and potentially for them to, or at least something around the middle, for before we can see a price managing to conquer higher levels. Let's see. In any case, with usual Bitcoin retracements, we know that price likes to go to the likes of zero point 0.6 or 0.78. So coming back here is like 54 is completely inside the case the possibilities. Let me just see how much time. A little, have some little more. Okay, good. Well, we've been talking about the 4 hour, and we actually got a death cross in 4 hour. But then, as we saw, we had great support from larger time frame structures, and also the expansion limits for like the likes of 90 minutes, eventually 105 minutes are doing fine, managing to hold price. And then we both saved sort of this situation, helping price to get back above the 4 hour trend band. But in order for this to continue, we have to keep around this place without losing it for good, because otherwise, then we'll have a two. We will continue to have a sort of turn down or bearish layout for the 4 hour trend band, and this can take us quite low, honestly. Okay, I'm not going to say that we are going for anything around 32 or anything, but I think that at least something around 38 or 39 can be in a scene if we don't manage to sustain this sort of save that happened over here, right? And considering that we saw that 90 minutes managed to support the price, I think that it's reasonable to look at 90 minutes as the main structure or main size that price is using at the moment. So, and once this happened, so we managed to get a bounce from 90 minutes. We've been trying to do the same, considering lower time frames like 30 and 60 and 75. We got bounces from all these time frames, but the one which managed to really sustain price for now was 90 minutes. When we look at the history back over here, we can see that 90 minutes did this job over here, and it did the job again, sort of, with the help of 105 to support price over here. So in general, like both of them are displayed here, one and both 90 and 105. So that's why we believe that this region here from 43 to around 40 or something can potentially support price. It really depends on how it's going to be once we get to this place over here, and once we get back to these structures to test them again. All right. So if we manage to get something like um, something like this, we are going up, and then we come down, and then we go up again, like something like this, this is what we need in order to break the downtrend, which is still playing, and resume the uptrend. So basically, for the moment, I think that this is the most important thing to know. We are coming here, and we are probably coming down. So pay attention to this type of situation from for the next day or so, and this is probably something that will happen here as price tries to find its place here inside this 90 minute size consolidation. Okay, as a tip, I think that it's good to pay attention to 50 minutes. So one way for you to handle this, if you have Price Finder, is to have like here, you have both 90 minutes, which is the largest size being played at the moment, plotted. It can be as an overlay if you have the beta version to have the overlay feature embedded, and the 15 minutes is really an important time frame for you to follow up what's essentially going. So I think that we are probably going to see some rejection from around here, because even if this resistance from 15 minutes gives in, it will find problem most likely from 90 minutes here, and then we going to start to come down to potentially test here the support from 15, which is 45. And if this is good and supports the price, we have a better chance to manage to break the up 90 minutes resistance over here. If it doesn't handle, then the chances for us to come back to test the 43, 42, or even lower are definitely on the table. So far, OBV wise, there is a bullish divergence. So this is a good signal also that there is a chance for us to have a better display by bulls when trying to conquer over this resistance. To conclude, just a few seconds, you can notice here that we had, even though price was trying to recover here, OBV was telling us that this was no good, all the time under pressure. All right, hope this helps you navigate. Thank you for your time. Wish you all the success. Bye bye.